Oh, yeah. Hi, pipe smokers. Yeah. This is Paul Gilson from the Paul Gilson YouTube channel, aka Paul the Pipe Guy, live from the outskirts of Rochester, New York, in the United States of America. I am so glad to be home. Let's just start something on fire. We have this nice little bowl, this K Woody. It's a K Woody Super Grain. And this bowl has a 4-digit serial number, which is, oh no, I take that back. It's two digits. It's 40. It has 4 stinger holes. Yeah. That puts the manufacture date prior to 1938. Somewhere between 1919 and 1938. I would say probably late 20s, early 30s. And she's good. And I debated, was I going to put some Bengal slices, single barrel in, which I love. Was I going to put some Seattle Pipe Club plum pudding in there? And then I was like, I haven't had Gaslight in a while. Gaslight by Cornell and Deal. Actually, this is, I apologize, it's by GLP's. Gaslight. So that's what we have in our pipe. And now we're going to set it on fire. It's just so good, man, just to work so hard all day and then you just get to come home. And right now, all I hear is my furnace running. This Gaslight, the tin date on it is 5/4 of 2021. And I opened it on 12/18 of 2023, after which I put it in a mason jar. And if I remember correctly, I do believe this Gaslight can pack a punch. Yeah. It is cold and damp outside. The winds are kicking up. Hoping that we're not going to get snow tonight because the car I drive to work, it's an old puddle jumper. Something I paid like $1,200 for a year and a half ago. Little 2002 Honda Civic. Well, the tires are not very good on it. And my Dodge diesel truck, my 1-ton Dodge diesel truck, has brand new tires on it, but it's out of service right now. It was real cold one day and I was cranking it and cranking it and cranking it, and I kind of melted a cable going to the battery. Just been too cold out there to fix. I hate the cold. Yeah, 8 more years to work, and then I could probably get about $3,000 from Social Security. Or if I wait till I'm 70, another 3 years, which is 11 years, I can get about 3,500. I don't want to live in this climate anymore. I want to go someplace nice and warm like Arizona. A nice, warm, dry climate. Build a little log, or actually I saw this real cool cabin today on Facebook. It's actually a stone cabin. So they have natural stone that they make the walls and everything out of, and then of course the roof and everything is made out of wood and shingles. Just small. I mean, probably not even 800 square feet. But that's all I'd need. Give me an open room. You know, well, 1,000 square feet would be, well, 20 by 20 is 400 square feet. So, you know, maybe 30 by whatever. It doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. You know, it's got to have a wood burning stove. I don't even care if it has electric. I don't even care if it has plumbing. We'd go to summer camp and we'd use a outhouse. And we cooked on a stove. We called it a little shepherd stove. It was outside and it was maybe 3 foot long by 2 foot wide. Fill it up with wood. Get that baby going. Had a smokestack about 6 foot high, just enough to keep the smoke off you. And that's what we cooked on during summer camp in Boy Scouts. We didn't have bathrooms. We didn't have running water. We actually collected our water out of a lake in the Adirondack Mountains. So we'd have 3 or 4 scouts with 5-gallon barrels, which is over 40 pounds of water each. The 5-gallon containers, and they'd go collect the water. And any water we needed that we were going to drink, we'd boil the water. And then they had these little pills that you'd put in there. I forget what they're called. Kills any bacteria or malaria or whatever. And then when it was time to do dishes, we'd take it down to the little lake, which was like a big pond. There wasn't waves coming up or anything. Lake Massawepie. We'd wash our dishes in the lake. You have some dish soap and everything right there. And clean them off in the sand. They'd scrub the food off real nice. I'll tell you what, you pay cash for a little cabin like that. Out in Arizona, the taxes are not high. $3,000 in Social Security a month can go pretty far. And those of you in the UK, let me explain what Social Security is. Social Security basically was called the New Deal, and in, I believe it was 1932, President Franklin D. Roosevelt came out with the New Deal. So what would happen is 7.85% of our paycheck goes into Social Security, plus our employer pays 7.85. So it's basically almost 16% of our paycheck. So if you make $1,000 a month, $160 a month, or $1,000 a week, $160 a week goes into your Social Security retirement plan. I don't really want to touch that much on it. You know, a lot of people have said that our politicians have robbed that, and that it's not going to be available for my generation. I'm 59. It won't be available. We're not going to get our Social Security. Well, let me tell you something. If that ever happens, there's going to be a bunch of good old boys that are going to be doing some headhunting. Because we paid into that system all of our lives. And I believe it will be there, because I think the government's too afraid for it not to be. That's a promise that we have. And it better be there. A lot of us boys grew into men. We didn't rely on government assistance or welfare. And there's a purpose for welfare for those that can't work, those who are sick, whatever. A lot of people take advantage of it. But us good old boys went out and worked. And any kids that we had, we sometimes had 2-3 jobs and worked harder to support and raise them without the government's help. So that better be there when I'm ready to get it. I'm practicing my long-range shooting right now. Don't want to have to rely on surviving on deer. A lot of people practicing their long range shooting. Well, we're going to let this old girl rest for a minute. Paul the Pipe Guy will be back in a nanosecond. Oh yeah, so we're back. Stoke this gas light back up. Man, look at the briar on that super grain pipe. Just gorgeous. Man, the wind's kicking up out there. Ooh-wee. Yeah, Arizona would be a nice place to retire. Wouldn't want the 120-degree heat. I went to Phoenix one time back in 2002. It was 118, 119 degrees. Yeah. And but if you get around 5,000 feet above sea level, she cools off quite a bit. Yeah. And you know, it's kind of a bit desert-like there, but it still has trees and so forth and mountains. That'd be a nice place. Cool nights and hot sunny days. I just hate the winter. I ask myself sometimes, it's like, how am I going to go at least another 8 years? Because sometimes I just go so tired out. And Greg Tunnel, the Tunnel Take, I've watched some of his videos. Yeah, well, I watched a lot of his videos, but he was saying, I just only felt like working 4 hours today, or I could just only work 6 hours today. And we're the same age. So I can feel your pain, Greg. Oh, yeah. This Gaslight is good. Now I'm in the mood for some single barrel slices. Should we go for the Extendo smoke? Yeah, I think we should. Let's go for the Extendo smoke together. I'll be right back in a nanosecond. Oh yeah, so Paul the Pipe Guy's back for our Wednesday night smoke, and I had a nice little bowl of this Gaslight. Let me tell you, that is some potent stuff. It's got to be nicotine rich, man, because I'm huffing and puffing on that pipe. It started getting a little nick hit. So I couldn't resist these Bengal slices, single barrel, which is not available now. And I have 4 tins and a mason jar of it from 5 of 2021, if memory serves me correctly, and I am correct. So these slices are just, you can smell the bourbon. And they're like, man, that's like freaking some nice beef jerky there. Yeah, rubs out real good. It's nice and moist. And I've got this interesting pipe that I did do some research on. I'm not much of a rusticated guy, but you can see the briar on the stem of the pipe here, or the whatever you call that, shank of the pipe. And this one is made by Willard. It says Willard imported briar. I did some research on this Willard, and the United States sent in the 1960s sent over thousands upon thousands of these Willard pipes over to our troops in Vietnam. Yep, they can get them. I don't know if they got them for free or whether they could purchase them at the PX, whatever. This one could have been in Vietnam. I don't know. I wish this pipe could talk. It's got a stinger type of system with aluminum, aluminium that reduces the heat. Gives you a nice cool smoke. And I'll tell you what, if you can get one of these Willard pipes in really nice shape like this, buy it. They're great smokers, man. Let's set this Bengal Slices single barrel pipe tobacco that rubs out oh so well on fire. I love to start stuff on fire. And it is moist. So if I keep lighting it up at the beginning, that's why. Oh man, what a nice change from the Gaslight. Gaslight was good, but that kicked my butt a little bit. There we go. One thing I do want to share with you pipe smokers, no matter where you live, We all have spiders, little bugs, whatever. So if I have a pipe that I haven't smoked in a while, I inspect it because I do not want to draw in a live insect into my mouth that has decided, oh, what a nice little spot to climb in here and build a little nest in there. Especially with a, pipe like this Mr. Bragg Behemoth that has like a 9 millimeter, all right? I mean, there's a lot of room to build a little nest, a little spider nest or something in there. And the last thing you want to do is set her on fire and you got a spider in your mouth. No, so I always blow out first, as hard as I can. And that way I know there's no critters in there. Now, I keep my house pretty clean and so forth, but you never know what made you decide to take up a home inside your pipe. I remember one time, this is going back a long time ago, I had about 4 or 5 different expensive harmonicas made in Germany. And I kept them in a drawer in my bedroom. And my kids discovered them. And they were just little then. So when me and the wife were at work, they decided they were going to make microwave popcorn. The popcorn you put in a microwave in a bag. Then while eating popcorn, they decided they were going to play my expensive harmonicas. Now, they didn't know that you have to suck in and blow out. They just were eating popcorn and blowing out. You can only imagine. So, of course, one Friday or Saturday night, I decided I wanted to play with one of them. And I'm blowing in, blowing out, and I hit one key, and a popcorn seed went. I thought I was going to choke to death. Took me everything to get that popcorn seed out of the hole that goes to your lungs. Opened that thing up, it was full of popcorn seeds, and I was like, who's been eating popcorn and playing my harmonicas? And of course everyone was like, I don't know. Maybe the dog did it. Yeah. The dog was a very easy scapegoat. Because back then in those days, anything that got broken in the house, anything that came up missing, anything that wasn't right or got messed up, the dog must have done it, because no one wanted to admit to it. Well, now my kids, they're having kids. And it's a pleasure to see all my grandkids, they're very young. So they're not at that point where they're ready to blame the family animal yet. It'll be funny to watch because I know it's going to happen. I know my kids are going to come home and be like, what happened? I don't know. They're going to get the same treatment. And I'll laugh. I ain't got to deal with that no more. I did my job. I did my duty. I raised them kids. My wife and I raised them kids right. My wife and I, we haven't been together in 10 years. We're still legally married. Not even legally separated. But sometimes things go that way. I got my house, she's got hers, and we don't date or nothing. Tried dating her for years. I'm like a very organized, concise person. I don't like last minute things. I plan ahead. I'm a prepper. I like organization and order in my home. And she didn't care about none of that stuff, man. It was always last minute. I'd get phone calls, or, I'd be going to work. Oh, I need $500 for the cable bill. Well, why do you need $500 for the cable bill when I've been giving you $200 a month to pay it? Oh, well, I had to pay other things, and now they're ready to shut it off right when I was leaving for work. I can't blame her. That's just the way she was. Probably still is. I don't know. I don't have to worry about that no more. Really nice. Mm-hmm. I come home. My cat, Callie, Cali, Callie, Cali, the killer calico cat, meets me at the door and goes meow, which means, Daddy, it's time to feed me. So I feed and water her, empty her litter box, and, other than taking care of myself and, my surroundings here, it's about all I got to worry about. When I come home, everything's just the way I left it. Now, I love my kids and stuff like that, but you folks that maybe younger, you got kids. You put something somewhere, and all of a sudden you come home, you're looking for it. Nobody knows where it is. Nobody knows where it went. Nobody knows nothing, but it isn't where you put it or left it. I don't have to worry about that anymore. And I like it that way. Miss Willard Pipe smokes like a champ, man. Look at her. All my pipes are ladies, and I treat them that way. Mm-hmm. With respect, take care of them, clean them, polish them, and love them. Ain't that the way it should be? Mm-hmm. Oh, these bagel slices, just so good. So I got this guy at work. Him and his three brothers came over from Turkey. Yeah, Turkey, the country Turkey. After their country was devastated by a horrible earthquake and over 200,000 people were killed. Actually, he showed me a video. He's like, here's me during the earthquake. He's recording the building across the street. He says, here's my neighbor. He's like, look, and this guy's like on the 5th floor, and there's like 5 or 6 floors above him. He's looking out the window. And all of a sudden the building goes, boom, 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 dead. He's trying to getting a little bit of a gurgle here, so we're just going to do the old gurgle trick. Put your thumb on there, stem down, shake it. Oh, there goes the moisture on the floor. No more gurgle. So he's trying to tell me about Islam and Allah and all this stuff. I'm like, look, man, I appreciate that and I respect your religion. He's like, just go home and ask Allah to reveal himself. Well, I'm a Christian. I'm not going to do that. You know, I was born a Christian, I'll die a Christian. If you were born, uh, a Muslim, then stay a Muslim if that's what you want. But don't try to. Never had somebody try to convert me to being a Muslim, but he certainly is. Getting sick and tired of it. He says, look, if you want me to stop, I'll stop. I was like, I don't know. Well, we've rambled on for over 31 minutes. I'm going to enjoy the rest of these mango slices. Make some dinner and go to bed. God bless you all. From Paul the Pipe Guy. Hope you enjoyed our long smoke together. Over and out.